Lord Almighty. Hi everybody, welcome back to the letter. I was coughing my guts out like 2 seconds before I started recording, and I thought, whatever. Welcome back to the letter. We're gonna get majorly spooked, I think, because my theory was in the last episode that Zachary was in the bathroom and he was like cleaning up and shit, and that we're gonna see this little bitch thing in the mirror. She's gonna pop up and just be like, boo. And we'll be like, bitch! And we'll be like, boo back! That's how we deal with ghosts. We say boo back. Didn't you know? You don't have to hire a priest or anything, just say boo back. Just boo. Already was humming. God, I can't read through his humming. It's impossible. Yeah, you hear that water running? He's totally in the bathroom, man. Also, I love his fishy rug. The next 2 days rushed by in a blur, altogether leaving a collective mess of work suddenly piling up in new unexpected acquaintances or friends. Depend on how you look at it, really. Either way, I'm stuck developing these photos at 3 in the morning to reach a deadline set by an stop humming, man! An overeager art director. Don't get me wrong, Julius is good, has a vision, and knows what he wants. But damn, he can be too enthusiastic sometimes. That's so me. Like, if I'm working on a project with somebody, I'll be like, are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet with your part? Because I have all the time in the world.
Couldn't sleep anyway.
Oh, honey, it's okay. There's nothing new in it, of course. After years of working as a freelance photographer, it's simply something I have grown used to. Get to know people, build a client base, do good work, and cash in some late hours if need be. Rinse and repeat. It certainly takes a while to get some good footing on the field, but it's the kind of thing that pays off in the long run as long as you keep at it. Okay, so my theory was wrong, of him washing up at the bathroom. Fuck me. Given enough time, you might end up with the big names on your client list. Names like Wrights in particular. I never did pay much attention to them, but it's virtually impossible not to hear about them when local news channels... Really? Really? I'm questioning something. Rich people. Okay. Go with me here. Rich people, right? Maybe not in real life, but I don't really know if this counts. Because I know nothing. I don't watch the news. I don't read a newspaper. I really don't care. But, apparently in this universe... If you're rich, you're gonna be all over the news if you do something different. They bought a house. Goddamn, put them on the news. They bought a house. It's amazing. Forget that lady that was murdered and had, like, writing all over her wall. Fuck that. These rich people bought a house. Top of the headlines. Don't let anybody miss this. They bought a house. Because they have money. Wow. I totally want to know that on the news, that somebody with more money than me bought a giant house that they don't need. Thanks. Thanks, news. Like, what? I don't understand. Did they do anything in particular? It was a party, and it's a house. Everybody has a housewarming party, if you have friends. Sometimes it's a new business venture. Other times it's an everyday gossip that typically follows popular people. Why are they popular? Because they have money? I don't understand. Not in a million years did I ever imagine I would end up working for such a high-profile couple. And between that, the fuss that comes with it, it leaves me no time to ponder whatever happened to Isabella or why Ash is so adamant we keep away from the pair.
They do seem like the good folk, though, despite the whole fame thing.
Let me just... Stop lying to me. Oh, you're not lying. Holy crap, Isabella, we are in love with her, apparently. Become my wife. Cool, I don't read this. Probably should, but I don't. Sure, there was a rumor running around years ago, but him being involved in some business scandal, I don't know. I don't care. But just like every gossip blown out of proportion by the media, nothing came of it, and eventually it simply died down. Who cares? Fucking BuzzFeed, get off of people's back. Much is definitely left to be said for the husband, but I doubt a woman like Miss Wright would pick him if he doesn't have good points at all. He doesn't really. Miss Wright, Hannah herself, though, I don't know. Usually, if you pronounce Hannah, it's one N. It's H-A-N-A. But if it's Hannah, it's H-A-N-N-A-H. I don't know. Maybe she wants to pronounce her name the fancy way, even though it's not right. She ain't particularly bad the way the press makes her out to be. No, I think she's cool. Hannah's cool. She ain't that bad. She likes to soak up the attention, though. The tabloids had it all wrong, that's for sure. For someone born with a silver spoon in her mouth, well, she had exactly what I was expecting. Hey, she knows who she is. She's a strong, independent woman. She knows how to act. Among other things, the newfound friendship is what I least expected from her, but here we are. We're gonna see the picture with the ghost, aren't we? I'm looking for it. Although the life as public as the rights, no wonder it's a woman who often gets the crappy end of the stick. But I can't help but feel sorry for her. She's a real nice person when given the chance. Heck, she might even have ended up friends with Rebecca and Isabella too if they weren't living worlds apart. Probably. Probably. A beep quickly pulls me back from before my thoughts travel any further. One in particular motion. I got this. I can read. I carefully placed the wet print I'm holding on. Okay, wait a second. We're not in 2018 right now. I'm not a photographer or anything, but isn't everything digitalized? There we go. Like, you put it through Photoshop, and then you pretty much send the pictures to the... I don't understand. Maybe they wanted... This is going in a magazine. Why would you put it out? I don't understand. I carefully placed the... Somebody's in the comments like, I'm a photographer, and you don't know anything. I carefully placed the wet print I'm holding on a drying rack, and amble over my makeshift darkroom to get the last photos from the water bath. Inside the converted broom closet, the film processor... I'm sorry, I was thinking, like, is there gonna be a ghost in this dark room? Because I don't like this. I don't like the thought of this. Lets out another soft clack before going on its standby mode. At its mouth, a lone photograph sits on the tray, barely visible with lack of light. It's the last one tonight for the set, Ms. Wright requested. Oh, I don't usually make this habit, giving away... Oh, I see. Giving away stuff, that is. It's bad for business, no matter how well-intentioned or generous you are. This exception, however... She did treat me well and was a pleasant companion all throughout the shoot. I was reading so good earlier, and now I'm just so focused on, like, when is the spook? I just keep thinking, like, when is it gonna come? When is it gonna come? Because I'm trying to prepare myself for it. And it's just clouding my thoughts. Even if she didn't ask, I would have probably given her a few prints just for the hell of it. Miss Wright ain't such a bad subject matter to begin with. And maybe this is just me, but for someone who has everything at the palm of her hands, all the money in the world, a loving husband, and that second one, though, and plenty big mansion to call home, she's lonely. Well, you don't know Luke now, do you? I just sipped my watered down root beer sassily. I wish you guys could have seen it. It was great. She doesn't just appear like it. It shows in the tone of her voice, how she moves, and certainly in her smiles, always hidden behind the glamour for the world to never see. Sometimes for people like her, small things like these helps. A little reminder that the world can be kind, too. I'm stoked there. Water drips from the paper as I blindly pick it up and gently lay it on another tray, holding a decent amount of photo flow. I don't know what that is. A few seconds under the solution is all it needs before it's ready for drying. No good rushing this last one, even if my body's already screaming for some decent snooze. My hand fumbles for the light switch, moving toward it with familiarity. I got this. While I fish for a squeegee among the mess of tools on a drawer with the other. The bowl flickers twice before its glow settles and casts a soft light in the tiny space. When I glance back down, squeegee in hand, ready to finish the process and finally call it a night.
What on earth?
Oh no! Oh no! It's coming! Oh no! Where's my Bulbasaur? Bulbasaur? Oh, there you are. Hey, little buddy, I need you. You ready, Bulbasaur? Oh, you got stuff on your face. Here, let me just pick that off. There you go. My Bulbasaur ended up on the floor for some reason. No. Lord Almighty! Criminy Christmas! Woo! No, her head's still there. It's just not looking very good. I was holding Bulbasaur in front of the screen. That noise was so not needed. I'm already spooked enough, thanks. Her head is gone. Blurred and distorted. Beyond recognition, rather. The area completely smudged. I'm shaking. I'm sorry. it's ghosts in pictures that really scared the shit out of me. And like ghosts in pictures and videos, and my arm's getting really tired holding this Bulbasaur. The area completely smudged over, leaving no trace of the same sweet smile the good woman carried all of the previous prints.
Damn, that was too careless.
No. A common mistake to make, of course. If one is negligent, I can't. Just say it for me, I can't, I'm too spooked. Enough to pick a newly processed photo in the dark, like I apparently did. Oh, so it's your fault? It has happened before, loads of times, actually. But I still can't help but feel a small pang of frustration over my one mistake as a newbie would likely make. With a sigh, I reach up for the Switch again, intending to develop a new one from scratch.
Could pass off for one of those supernatural pictures they show on TV, though.
Oh, Zach. Don't you know I'm holding my Bulbasaur up in front of my screen? It sure is! Memory clicks, one curious thought in the sea of many, and a short yet distinct second from the day before. A glimpse is all I got, but it's enough to burn the image in my mind. There was a shadow. Yeah, there, sure, yeah. Look at her. Oh no. My Bulbasaur is still there. A woman. In her 20s or early 30s, maybe. But with how far gone her flesh alone has become, it's not possible to tell at first glance. The skin itself has already taken a sickly pale color, rotten in most parts, blood dripping from every open gash and lesion in her body. A bony hand gripped Mrs. Wright's neck. Miss Wright. Shouldn't it be Mrs.? Miss Wright's neck like a noose. I like how that's the thing I'm focusing on right now. Straightening the skin underneath with a vibrant shade of scarlet. Nothing but malice fills the gleam in her eyes.
Zachary?
Hi. Not for me, but for Miss Wright.
Zach, is something the matter?
My arm is getting very tired.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something I saw.
It hurts.
Let's get back to the pictures.
It hurts.
Can you move a bit more to the left here?
My arm! Oh. Sweet release of death. Oh. Haven't used that muscle in a while. Memory alone is enough to make me retch. I brushed it off then. A trick of the eye, I told myself, a product of heat. Yo, but you apparently stared at her long enough to think 20s, early 30s. The weather has been unexpectedly warm recently, so it shouldn't be too surprising for such things to happen. And while blaming this on usual fatigue and overworked brain, the weather or an amateur error on my part is far more convenient. It makes a whole lot of sense that what the small voice inside my head whispers, the same tiny voice that only makes itself known when something afoul, the same one that lent a curious ear to Isabella's worries about the mansion. And with each second I spend staring at the photograph, it murmurs in my head, only grow louder against my ear, putting my Bulbasaur back in front of my screen. Someone has to know. I think we... I'm like bonking my Bulbasaur against my head, trying to think what we should do. My cheek... Do we really want to show Hannah and spook her? Or should we show Ash? What would showing Ash really... Let me think. What would Zach do? What would Zach do? I think we know. I think we already know that Ash is a skeptic to all this ghosty stuff. I think we already know that. I think, not only do I think it's right, but I also want to do it for shits and giggles that we should show Hannah. I'm gonna save, though, just in case it goes wrong. I'm saving this horrifying thing right there. Show it to Hannah. I don't have an explanation for what I saw yesterday, yet. But when you've been there, seen something enough to raise the hairs at the back of your neck or leave you wanting to flee or hide, finding a more solid proof than a person's smudged face on a photo is the least of my concerns. Ashton will undoubtedly give me a flack for saying that, or even considering Isabella's words and those silly tales about the place. That's what I was thinking. He would be like, you fucked it up. It's just a picture. The guy's a skeptic through and through. It'll take more than my account for him to even give a single thought. However, more than his opinion, it's Miss Wright I'm concerned about. Surely she must have felt something in those shows on TV are to be... She must have felt something if those TV shows are to be believed. I'm good. A touch of coldness in her neck, or maybe the feeling of being watched. That's what often happens, ain't it? Outside, the sun is yet to rise. I still get a few hours before dawn. Good enough time to mull over how I'll go about warning her. Plenty of space to check if I'll get same results if I redo the process again. Well, sir, would you mind taking your spot? Thank you. The film processor hums back to life at my touch. The light switch gives out a soft click and darkness embraces the small closet once again.
Somehow those urban legends don't sound so silly now.
Oh. I guess we can keep going for a few more minutes. It's only been 15 minutes. Usually I stop at 20. But, I usually like stopping at, like, a scene like this where we're transitioning. But it's only been 15, so I guess we'll keep going. Even though I really don't want to. In hindsight, this is a dumb idea. That is to say, rushing to a client I barely know's home first thing in the morning with news of a ghost lady potentially haunting their newly bought property. Oh, and there's a bunch of bizarre-looking pictures of Miss Hannah. I brought as proof, too. So yeah, dumbest idea in the history of dumb ideas, all things considered. Traveling to the outskirts of Ansem Village at a crack of dawn with only a bike as company, equally so. Personally, I don't think any of them would take whatever I'm going to say, well, no matter how nice or accommodating they are. Ashton himself would tell me the same thing. Odds are he'll laugh at it in my face for good measure, if he doesn't freak out at me first for not listening to his warnings. Ding dong. Still, that's a whole separate can of worms I'll open at a different time, seeing as I'm already standing at the Wright's front porch waiting for someone to answer the door. More than anything, Miss Wright needs to know there's possibly nothing safe in this place. Warnings from a friend's be damned.
If only someone would answer the door sooner. Come on.
My voice is fading away slowly. I need a sip of a drink. Good golly. I try to ignore the looming presence their large, ordinate door gives off as I press the doorbell for the 4th time. Its shrill ringing merely echoes, carried off by another warm passing breeze. The first time I came to this place, found myself basking in the silence it offers. Now the atmosphere is just heavy, packed with trepidation and tension. Isabella's right, it does radiate the creepy kind of vibe. And with the image from the day before constantly flashing my mind, the unease becomes harder to ignore as each second drifts by. Answer your door! I'm gonna ding-dong as many times as it takes, damn it! Not wanting to spend more time here than necessary, I ring the bell again. Another long second ticks by without anyone answering the door. If this fails, I can always go to Ash. That doesn't seem like a good idea. This doesn't even seem like nothing seems like a good idea that we do in this game. Not really the most sensible course of action either, but waiting here ain't doing me any good. For all I know, the Reds could be out of town. As luck would have it, just a bit creepy, creepy, ominous sounds around. As luck would have it, just as I'm about to turn on my heel, a loud thump rises from the other side. Hello? It's followed by heavy footfalls and a string of very colorful expletives about one's patronage. The fuck, Luke? Get there, what? Hello. How are you today, sir? The door swings open. A very irate Mr. Wright greets me, his partly rumbled appearance a clear testament of how early the hour is.
And who might you be?
Oh god, I just remembered.
I don't recall asking the movers to show up this early.
Why are you so mean? I was prepared to face Miss Wright, their butler, or more so. But Mr. Wright, I don't quite know what to make of him yet. Psst, he surely knows how to make an impression, I'll give him that. Albeit a rude one. I only caught sight of him yesterday, as he directing the movies, good lord. Although from how exasperated he sounded then, it seemed more like yelling was done than actual given directions. Needless to say, I'd like to believe those instances ain't all there is to this guy. Miss Wright, at the end of the day, did marry him. But why is the real question. Standing before him like now, though, is a different story altogether. Oh, lord. Despite the difference in our respective heights, he manages to make it appear like he is the one looking down at me, not the other way around. An apology instinctively forms my mouth before anything else when he arches an eyebrow at my lack of response.
That's not exactly why I'm here, Mr. Wright, yeah?
Right, of course, the one and only.
Good Lord.
And what can I do for you this fine morning?
Chip her up, mate.
Have I seen you somewhere before? Bloody peasants all look the same to me.
You're not the fucking king. What do you mean, peasants? Call me a pleb, I swear to God.
Yeah, I'm actually...
Peasants. Because I don't have a house that you... Because I don't have a house that I couldn't fit in, you know? Because I have a house that's too big for my ego.
It doesn't matter. I don't care. I've got someplace important to be at today.
Let's step out of the fucking way and I'll go talk to your wife instead.
Just spit out what you want or be gone. I haven't got all day.
Oh my God. His eyes are sharp and expecting in spite of his indifferent tone. The very impression of someone whose sharp wits have served him well throughout life, the kind you have carefully choose your words around. You should be insulting him in your thoughts. You should not be praising him in your thoughts. Disconcerting how simple conversation can easily seem like a ruthless form of social maneuvering. I see why Miss Wright would want to steer clear of it, if only for a short while. I gotta be careful with this one. I gotta be real careful with this one. I'm a friend.
Sorry, sir. I was just...
Shit, we should have said we were we should have said we were the photographer and we were here with the photos. Oh, I'm such a dumbass.
You see, I'm a friend of Hana, and...
A friend of Hana.
A friend? My wife has a friend? What? She does not.
Yes, sir.
What is this bullshit? I didn't allow her to have friends. His eyebrows shoot into his hairline at my answer. So are you keeping her locked in a cage and she's not allowed to have friends? Or although Sylvia disappears under his dismissive gesture and chuckle at its heels. A small frown spreads across my face before I can stop myself. What I said has nothing remotely funny in it, yet here he is, hugging an arm close to himself in a weak attempt to keep his shoulders from shaking.
Did I mispronounce something wrong, or...?
No, not at all. You didn't... my wife, has never mentioned a friend like you. That's all.
Like,
I suppose it's a good thing she's venturing out of the usual. Vultures and savages, all of them hiding under sheep's clothing.
Can you not, like, say that behind my back? Why are you saying it right in front of me?
I don't really get it, sir, but it's not really surprising she wouldn't talk about me. We just met yesterday during the shoot.
As soon as that statement is out, an immiscible air melts away almost palpably. His eyebrows crease into a frown and his posture stiffens. With how fast the atmosphere around us changes in merely the span of a few spoken words, I'm not quite sure what I can and can't say anymore. Like handling a ticking bomb. Is this why Ashton wants us to stay away from them? Because the man of the house is fucking nuts? Yeah, probably. If so, part of me regrets not listening to him now.
Shoot. Who are you again?
Take a wild guess. Oh my
Zachary
God.
Steele, sir. I was here yesterday from the magazine feature about your home.
Can't remember your help's names.
Ah, that Zachary, the photographer. I remember now.
Oh, good.
Just when you think she'd be careful meddling around media types these days, she makes friends with one.
Photographer. Photographer, not journalist, not news anchor. Photographer. I take pictures.
It was really just small chit-chat, sir. The usual. To keep things entertaining. The shoot did take the whole afternoon to finish.
Oh, I'm sure she was pleasantly entertained. She wouldn't be making friends with media types if she wasn't.
I really don't know what you mean by that, sir.
No matter. She's her own woman. She can do what she wants so long as she doesn't do anything to ruin herself.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm sure Miss Wright is aware of that, sir.
Exactly.
That she is.
Uh-huh.
But we aren't here to talk about her, are we? What is this about
We
today?
are here to talk to her.
The city's a long way from here. On push bike, no less.
I got them leg muscles of a god.
Yeah, I was actually hoping to talk to her.
Of course. Here for another headline, perhaps.
I'm not a journalist, though.
Not exactly, sir. I'm off work.
But I carry my backpack around.
This is
Oops.
for something else.
That's what they always say. The next thing you know, your face is in the front
I'm
page of
not
every
a
conceivable scandal sheet
journalist.
going all the way to the ass end of Plymouth.
I don't care. Ass end.
You media types have such an insatiable taste for gossip. It's almost amazing.
We gossip? Look at the pot calling the kettle black.
There won't be any of that in an interior design magazine, sir. I can assure you.
Exactly.
Oh, you never know. Well-trained hounds have an uncanny way of sniffing out things no matter where you keep them.
Take a drink every time he insults you. We'll end up
I
dead.
do admire the passion, though. It takes a lot of energy for someone to leave bed this early, let alone knock at someone else's door at this hour.
Man, it took you a lot of energy to get out of bed, didn't it?
That aside, unfortunately, you're going to have to come back some other day.
Why?
You see, darling wife lived not a moment ago.
Where? Darling.
I have not an inkling where she went, or when she'll be back, so you're better off.
I bet you $10 she's in the house right now.
Love, is it the movers?
Fucking liar. He stops speaking altogether, and then a complacent expression, he collapses on itself. I didn't read that right, but I don't care. Slowly he turns just as his wife walks up to him with a step too lively for comfort, smile too sweet to be honest. Hey, baby. And click. She very likely heard everything her husband and I have talked about.
Going off somewhere.
Caught in a lie. That's the funniest thing
I've
ever.
got the few things I want them to transfer already. Marianne made this splendid arrangement for the music room and... Love, are you listening?
I thought you already left, Buttercup.
Blah. The fuck you call him, Buttercup? She musters a frown, a pout more like. I love that. I love that look at her. She's like, The mischievous gleam in her eyes when she glances at me says all there is I need to know. I would have laughed at her antics if it wouldn't offend the other man. But as it is, it's better to let his wife have her fun without any reaction from me. I'm treading on dangerous grounds with him already.
Well, I most certainly have not left yet. I wouldn't be standing here if I did, would I?
Of course you wouldn't be, darling. But don't you need to be somewhere else today? Something with Marianne?
You're a horrible liar.
Shopping, girl, things?
Horrible liar.
Oh, I'll be leaving in a few. Unless you want to join us.
Oh, no, thanks, darling. I'm afraid my liver is killing me today.
I wonder why.
I thought as much. You needn't have to worry. I'll be gone in a few. It's just that I heard we have a visitor. What kind of person would I be if I didn't greet him before leaving?
A very gracious one, I'm sure.
Sorry.
Zachary, right? Zach?
Indeed, ma'am.
It's a pleasure to see you again.
Likewise, ma'am. I was actually looking for you.
Is that so? What for?
A huge display of unprofessionalism is what it's for.
The fuck?
Shush, darling. Let the man speak. I'm sure it isn't anything like that if he has to come all the way here, yes?
It's about yesterday. The photos you asked, I mean. The copies are ready, but
My hands still as I'm about to fish the prints out of my pocket. A short second passes with which that hello? Where'd my brain go? Are you here? Brain? Come back. Come here, boy. A short second passes that which strikes me how I didn't think this all through at all. Wow, that sentence messed me up big time. How I'll go about telling her regarding the strange photos or revealing this to her in the presence of another person. Her husband gazing over us like a hawk doesn't provide any sort of comfort either. And just like that, all the words I've been practicing to say on the way here inevitably fall stiffly out of my mouth. Miss Wright must have noticed my hesitation because shortly she gives her husband's arm a gentle squeeze, a tender smile gracing her face. Get the fuck out, darling. Unlike the first, this one is meant to appease.
Love, I think Hansi might need some of your input for the final guest list. Could you check on him, please?
Bollocks! Why in all Luxborn do I have to be there? Doing tedious jobs of what he's being paid for?
Why don't you cry harder?
Because if we end up with people whose faces you do not want to show up in our housewarming party, we won't be hearing the end of it. Unless a heavy dose of liquor's involved. You know what the doctor said about that.
Kill him at
Please
30.
do poor Hansi and your liver a favor, hmm?
He can handle that on his own, Buttercup. And my liver is doing just fine.
2 minutes ago, you just said your liver was killing you, but that's okay.
I'm sure it is. But I don't know, love. I think I caught a glimpse of the name Mitch Lakes, was it? I think it was Mitch Lakes on it when I checked with Hansi earlier. You should see for yourself. It was quite a list.
Who put that blighted twat in there?
And that's why I'm asking you to look over it before I do so tonight.
Very well.
But even with that promise, he doesn't appear ready to leave. Short of passing through their doors, he stops and glances back at me, all without bothering to hide the distrust in his eyes.
Luke, dear,
You're the one who cheated, though!
Go back to your butler.
Little bitch!
I'm not some pregnant wife you have to worry about.
Get it? She's not, but she is. Hold on a second. I gotta adjust my butt because it was just so funny. There we go. Just my little booty in my chair.
Fine. I have to go to that little ankle biter's career day later anyway.
What?
You don't see why I have to go there.
Oh.
Kylie's your goddaughter.
And yet, she has you around her little fingers, darling. That's basically the same thing.
And he's gone, thank God. If he ever has an answer to that, we don't get to hear it above the heavy thud of the door. Heavy thud the door makes. There we go. Miss Wright's own weary exhale. Exhale! Excelsior! There we go. After she's sure her husband is out of the earshot. I'm tired. I'm so tired. It's actually 6:38 p.m. that I'm recording. Amazing, right? I'm not recording in the early a.m. She's nothing but apologetic when she fixes her gaze back to me, and I can't help but return the same to her.
I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. My husband can be a bit trying when he really applied himself.
It's fine, Miss Wright. No harm done. It was my fault for showing up here unannounced. And this might be strange coming from me, but he does have the right to be wary. The press can be quite vicious when it wants to be.
Caught unexpectedly, they'll pick you apart. It's not surprising why he acted the way he did around me.
Sweetie, if Luke treats every journalist who shows up here like that, I'm afraid we'll end up with a harassment lawsuit hanging over our heads sometime in the future.
Oh boy.
Vicious or not, some sort of finesse has to be exercised when dealing with them. I'm sorry, I hope that wasn't too offensive.
Not at all, Miss Wright. Besides, I don't think an interior design magazine would be interested in who harassed who this week. Unless it has something to do with fighting over tastefully arranged furniture. But even then, I don't think our readers will be too interested.
Oh, dearie. You've got a lot to learn. You really have no idea how a single tattle can ignite a spark in a crowd. Of course, at the end of the day, it's still the thought that counts. It's still a lovely anniversary gift from my husband.
Not that he deserves it.
No matter. Let's just go.
I rephrase that question. When he finds out what happens later, he does deserve it. She doesn't wait for answer and immediately wanders over a car parked some distance from us. Unsure, I find myself trailing after her. A chauffeur automatically opens the passenger side door as she nears and she gestures for me to follow when she climbs into the back seat.
To where are we going exactly?
I need to get out of this stuffy house for a while. Moving in, planning the party. It's starting to get suffocating in there. Luke and Hansi can have their fun while I'm gone. I don't care. I'm getting out because I can. Another minute in there and I'll drown.
My bike.
My bike! There are, of course, a lot of things questionable about her invitation. Why is she asking a person she has only known for less than 2 days in the first place is one. How appropriate this is being another. But the rest of it crashes the moment she shoots me an imploring look.
Please? I can have someone send it back to your address later. And it's just a trip to the city for some furniture, nothing more, I assure you. Marianne will be with us, and maybe you can tell me why you're here on the way.
Guess it wouldn't hurt. Might have to leave early, though.
Excellent, then. Hop in. That's what they often say, yes?
Who's they? This can't be a good idea, but I really don't have any other choice, do I? Especially with the way her eyes light up when I agree to it. In my pocket, the very picture of her remains faceless, a voiceless shadow hanging threateningly between us, unknown to her. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna end this episode here. Give it a clap. Give it a clap. I don't know what we did, but that's cool. Man, we only got 4 more to go. And yet it still feels like forever. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.